Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree. But whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Really, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. I mean, everybody's got opinions. This is called Talk Spicy. So talk a little spicy. I'm all right with it. I'm going to do something that I thought I would never do. I'm going to defend Brian Kelly. And this might not, people may not agree with me or whatever, and I don't really particularly care about that. Obviously, the name of this show is Talk Spicy, but I want you to understand that I'm going to look at this from two perspectives. One is from a relationship perspective, and number two is from a coach's perspective, because the one thing I never want to do, the one thing I always fight to do, the one thing I always get upset about is when things are not consistent. I'm about consistency. So when things are not consistent, I don't like it. So check this out, right? Anybody ever tell you, oh man, she is perfect? You have found the perfect woman. She is beautiful. She is intelligent. She's everything that you want in a woman. And so because of that, you feel obligated to make it work with this woman. You thought this was the woman that you wanted. So you go out and get that woman. And once you have that woman, everything is good. Life is great. And as you're together with said woman, you start to see things that don't exactly fit who you are, that don't exactly make you feel as if you can be the best version of you. But this woman is perfect. You would be crazy to leave this woman. Nobody leaves this woman. No one has ever broken up with this woman. This is the woman that breaks up with men. She doesn't know what it's like to be broken up with. She has no clue. Because in the outside world's eyes, this woman is perfect. This woman is the woman that every man should strive to have. So how can you, now having said woman, decide, oh, no, you know what? This isn't working for me. Clearly, there must be something wrong with you. Clearly, you don't see the bigger picture. Clearly, you're an idiot. Yeah, Brian Kelly, people think you're an idiot. Why? Because you left the most beautiful woman on the world. Because in the outside world's eyes, Notre Dame is the job you never leave. Notre Dame feels like they're the job you never leave. Why do I know that? Because everybody that's ever coached for Notre Dame has been fired. Everyone who's ever coached for Notre Dame has left Notre Dame, not by their own free will. They've been fired. Notre Dame is the program that you don't quit. Notre Dame is the program that quits you. And so when someone like Brian Kelly, a guy who probably should have never been able to date the most beautiful woman in the world, gets the opportunity to date the most beautiful woman in the world, nobody, including that beautiful woman, ever expects him to break up with her. Brian Kelly is the last person who should be breaking up with the most beautiful woman in the world, right? Yeah? Except you clearly don't know who Brian Kelly is, because Brian Kelly was never in this to date the most beautiful woman in the world. Brian Kelly wanted the most beautiful, the number one woman in the world, because he believed that number one woman in the world would get him to his ultimate goal. And what Brian Kelly found out over the 12 seasons, that he coached Notre Dame, you know what he realized? He realized looks weren't everything. He realized you don't have to be the smartest woman in the world. He realized that those flaws that he began to see, those things that made him feel like he couldn't reach his full potential, he realized those things were hindrances to his happiness. He realized that there was somewhere else to go. People still probably don't understand what I'm saying, and that's cool, because maybe you don't get it the same way that a coach gets it. Here's what I'll tell you that you're missing about Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly became a head coach in 1991. I was 11 years old. He became a head coach in 1991 at Division II Grand Valley State. This is not the guy who was fast-tracked to the head coaching job like so many of his counterparts. This is a man who grinded from the low levels where you're eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to where he is today. This is a man who probably said to himself, if I ever get a chance to, I will. And guess what? To an extent, he has. Let me break down the resume for you. Gets to Grand Valley State. Stays there for 13 seasons. Over 100 wins. 3 national championship appearances, 2 wins. Decides, you know what? I've done enough. When I get that opportunity, I'm going to take it. He does. He leaves them on top. He didn't leave them bare. He left them on top. Took his talents to Central Michigan. He didn't cherry pick a great job to parachute into and then continue to win at a place where they were already winning. He didn't parachute in. He took the job, and then in 3 seasons with Central Michigan, he went from 4-7 to 9-4. Central Michigan, he took from 5th in the West to 1st in the West. I can't do any more here. The recruitment, the money involved is not going to let me advance any further. I got to move on. But again, he's a Division II coach that went to Central Michigan, so he's not able to just cherry pick whatever job he wants. That's not what Brian Kelly was able to do. So he took the job that was available to him. He went to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, who was playing in the International Bowl. The International Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. And Brian Kelly jumped on that plane, went to Cincinnati, and started coaching that team immediately. Won the International Bowl. And then over the next 3 years proceeded to win 10 games, 11 games, and 12 games and he had Cincinnati in the Orange Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Fickell is not the first coach at Cincinnati to have success. That's Brian Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. And he took a 10, 11, and then an undefeated 12-0 team to the Sugar Bowl, only to be told, hey, man, we don't give a damn if you're 12-0. You don't have a chance at this national title. So what does he do? He leaves. He goes to the most perfect woman in the world, Notre Dame. And in 3 years, he takes Notre Dame to a BCS national championship game. They lost it, but he had them there. Right? He had them there. Another 10-win season or 9-win season after that. 8-5, a 10-year. Fall-off season, a 4-8 year. 2016, and he gets it right back popping again. 10 wins, 12 wins, 12-1. 12-1 for Notre Dame. What does that get you? The Cotton Bowl. Not a national champion, not a college football playoff, but 12-1 gets you the Cotton Bowl. Gets you the Cotton Bowl, huh? Okay. Last year, Notre Dame goes 11-2. 2019, 11-2. 2020, 10-2. Goes to the Rose Bowl. ACC Coach of the Year. He's not even in the ACC, but they were that year, so he wins Coach of the Year. And then this year, he has a team 11-1, and they're on the outside looking in when it comes to the college football playoff. What is Brian Kelly figuring out? There are things that I'm just not going to be able to do here. Brian Kelly didn't get into this to find the golden parachute and just stay there. He wants the money and he wants the championship. And what he's realized is that that's going to be next to impossible at Notre Dame. Why? Because Alabama don't have the same academic standards as Notre Dame does. Neither does Clemson. Shh, don't tell anybody. Some of the people that you can get in at some of these places can't get them in at Notre Dame. Notre Dame has all the money in the world. They have their own TV network. So then somebody tell me why Notre Dame didn't try to match LSU's $10 to $15 million offer that they made to Chip Kelly. I'm sorry, not Chip Kelly, to Brian Kelly. Why not? Because when you think you're the baddest chick in the world, you don't make concessions for men. Men make concessions for you. Notre Dame didn't believe in a million years that Brian Kelly would leave them. How dare you leave me for this other chick who can't hold a candle to me, except she can. You know why? Because she makes them laugh. And because they can do things that he could never do with you. That perfect woman in the world, she wants to go to 5-star steakhouses and restaurants every night. Sometimes you just want to go have some barbecue. That girl over there, she's going to go have barbecue with you. That Notre Dame girl, that Notre Dame as the woman, she always wants to be dressed to the nines. that LSU woman, she'll hang out with you in the sweats and the t-shirt. She'll dress down and chill. It doesn't always have to be an event every single time you see her. And because she's chill, because she's relaxed, because there's not as much on it, that allows you to have other people around. Some of your friends didn't want to hang around when you were dating Notre Dame. Some of your friends, you couldn't hang around when you were dating Notre Dame because Notre Dame didn't want you to hang around with those friends. But LSU is accepting of all. So now you can invite people to hang out that wouldn't come and hang out at Notre Dame. People that can help you reach your ultimate goal. Probably somewhere in his mind, Brian Kelly said when he was winning those national championships at Grand Valley State, I could do this at every level if somebody gives me the chance and I'm on an equal playing field as everybody else. Guess what? We're about to find out. Because at LSU, you're on equal playing field with everybody else. At least you should be. If they're going to spend $10 to $15 million to get you there, then they better be matching the University of Georgia's recruiting budget, which probably is somewhere around $3 million right now. If they're going to spend $10 to $15 million to get you there, they better be beefing up the facilities. See, like, you can go for the bag and run from the smoke. You can do that. You can Lincoln Riley it. Go for the bag, but run from the smoke. I don't befault him. Private jets, cool. Pay off my houses, give me $1 million housing budget. I get it. It's California. Brian Kelly has gone right into the eye of the storm. We're going to find out just how good of a coach Brian Kelly is over the next few years. Don't expect it to happen immediately. But we're going to find out just how good a coach Brian Kelly is. Because Brian Kelly realized that the perfect girl wasn't perfect for him. He had done all he could do. The man is the all-time winningest coach at Notre Dame. What else can he do? He has to get lucky one year and win a national title. Because when you look on the field and you see the athletes running around, Notre Dame does not look like Alabama, does not look like Clemson, does not look like Georgia. I'm talking about Clemson when they were winning national championships. That is not what Notre Dame looked like. You know what LSU looks like when you see those athletes on the field? Like all those teams I just named. And now they don't have a sideshow character as their head coach anymore. It's not fun-loving, weird talking, love this Southern lifestyle head coach anymore. Now it's look, I'm not here to be friendly and kind. I'm here to win championships. I'm not here to hang out and chill and date the co-eds. I'm here to win championships. Make no mistake about it. Brian Kelly may be an a-hole, but he's a really good football coach. How do I know? As my boy Shaq says, Google him. Just take a minute. Google him. He has been successful everywhere. He is what so many of us coaches that are coaching at the lower levels aspire to be. We aspire to get the opportunity to raise up through the ranks and prove that what we do is good everywhere. This is not a man who was just handed jobs. This is a man who earned every single job he got. And just because you don't like his personality doesn't mean it makes it any less true. So while all of the Notre Dame people are out there butthurt that Brian Kelly left after 11 years, I tell you, like I tell the Cleveland fans, how long did you expect LeBron James to sit around and wait for you to get this thing right? How long, Notre Dame fans, did you expect Brian Kelly to sit around before you got this thing right? If Notre Dame is in the ACC, there's no reason for Brian Kelly to leave. You know why? Because the ACC, winning the ACC, gives Brian Kelly, with one loss, an automatic move into the college football playoff because they're a Power 5 team. As an independent, you don't get that luxury because you're playing teams that are not going to rank high enough in order to give you that luxury. Now he's in the eye of the storm. He's in the belly of the beast. He's got to deal with Bama every single year. He's got to deal with Auburn. He's got to deal with Arkansas. He's got to – good luck. Good luck, Brian Kelly. And all of you coaches out there should be rooting for Brian Kelly, not because you like him, but because he is the standard by which you can hold up and say, Brian Kelly was able to do it. Why can't I do it? I'm not going to talk out of both sides of the mouth. It's not like I like Brian Kelly as a person or what I know about him as a person, but I admire what he's done as a coach. And I look forward to seeing what he's going to do next. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you're joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Till next time, peace.